Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
2.5 hours south of San Francisco on the Monterey Peninsula is Central California's finest Pebble Beach Golf Links, one of the most iconic courses in the game. Pebble Beach is often referred to as the greatest meeting of land and water in the world. Once again, it is home to this week's AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Lisa Cornwell, Trip Eisenhower, Tim Rosafort, great to have you with us for Golf Central. Rosie, when you hear Pebble Beach, anytime, anywhere, what comes to mind?
Well, this particular week comes to mind the golf of Brad Snedeker, quite honestly. You know, we've got, of course, Jordan and Jason and Phil Mickelson in the mix, but the best player in the U.S. thus far, 3-2-1, didn't play great, not so good last week, has been Snedeker. He's won 2 of the last 3 times out there, and he's got a great West Coast record. He told me today, last night that the reason why he plays so well is his mentality and also his putting stroke. That pop stroke certainly works on the Poana greens up at Pebble and at Torrey as well. Yeah, no question. And the other thing is this week, the field they have assembled. I mean, this is a power-packed field. A lot of the biggest names in golf are playing this week, so great stuff on a fantastic golf course. They usually have that rotation where they get to play Pebble twice in a row. They get to play it on Saturday and Sunday. I think that's an advantage because jumping around the golf courses does get difficult, but the players that are in that grouping that end up at Pebble on Saturday, I think they have a slight advantage going into Sunday playing the same course back-to-back.
A lot to discuss with you fellas coming up, including the Ryder Cup. We'll hear from Davis Love III a little bit later in the show. The featured group in Thursday's opening round at Pebble includes world #1 Jordan Spieth, his partner this week, country music star Jake Owen. They'll be playing alongside Dustin Johnson and his fiance's father, Wayne Gretzky. Steve Burkowski joins us live with more on the man most would say is the player to beat.
Hey there, Lisa. It's hard not to think of Jordan Spieth as one of the favorites, if not the favorite here this week at Pebble Beach. Jordan's playing in this event for the 4th consecutive year and has posted consecutive top 10 finishes. In fact, 11 of his 12 rounds played in this tournament have been at even par or better. After a week off, Spieth is ready to go at one of his favorite stops on the PGA Tour.
I'm refreshed here. This is a beautiful place. The weather's fantastic this week, and you never know here in February, but yeah, game feels good. You know, I played 18 holes the last couple days, once on Pebble and once on Cypress, so if you're not refreshed after doing that, I don't know what's going to refresh you. Had a good week of rest coming back from Singapore, a couple close finishes overseas, and I'm trying to look to rebound and maybe you know, feel a bit more comfortable on the PGA Tour and hopefully get up there and capitalize with a win.
This week also different. How do you balance the fun aspect of it while ultimately trying to win a tournament?
Really just focus on the fun aspect. For us, we play so much golf, so much regular golf having fun, that when we do focus on that, it kind of frees us up, and you can maybe you're a little more aggressive on these types of courses. You know, the greens are firm right now. That's going to play very different from last year. I think it's going to be it's going to be a challenge, I think, hitting greens this week. I think that's going to be a very important stat. We'll have fun. I mean, great pairing with being with Jake as my partner and then with Dustin and the great one. So we had it last year. We kind of already know each other's games. We root for each other, and we hope that we can play all 4 days together instead of just the first 3.
If Jordan Spieth likes this week and everything that goes along with it, then Brad Snedeker absolutely loves it. He is the defending champion and twice a winner of this tournament. Coming off a victory 2 weeks ago at Torrey Pines, Brad Snedeker comes back to Pebble Beach brimming with confidence.
Puts a smile on my face for sure. You know, this is a truly special place, and you know, to have my name on the trophy here twice is something I'll always look back at my career with a huge smile. And you know, there's very few places in the world as special as this Monterey Peninsula, especially this time of year, and the weather we've got this week looks fantastic. And I'm excited about being back. I'm excited about trying to defend, and more importantly, my game's in good shape. So I'm excited about what that holds for the rest of the week.
You talk about your game in 2016. What has it been like from Hawaii to this point in terms of your confidence in trying to continue that momentum?
Yeah, it feels like it's just the way it should be. You know, it's when you're getting on these hot runs, you feel like this is the way the game off should be played, and you're confident in everything you're doing. You don't let a bad shot rattle you. You don't let a bad break rattle you. You just keep going because you know you're playing good. So those kind of feelings are very, very few and far between in the game of golf. So when you get on a run like I'm on right now, you need to make sure you make the most out of it. And I'm confident I'm playing great, and could not imagine a better place to show up when my game's the way it is right now, because this golf course is set up really well for me. I love being here. I love the challenge they present, and obviously having success here helps.
Brandt Snedeker was 22 under par on his way to victory a year ago. That set the tournament scoring record here at Pebble Beach. The previous best was 19 under par. And you know what? That was held by Brandt Snedeker as well when he was victorious in 2013. Lisa, when Brandt Snedeker plays well and wins here at Pebble Beach, he usually does so in record-setting fashion.
And he makes it look so easy. Burko, thank you very much. Here's a closer look at how this week's host course, Pebble Beach Golf Links, is being set up by the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America. The rough is playing 2 inches deep, while the greens are rolling 10.5 on the stump. Staying on the topic of the PGA Tour, we welcome in GolfChannel.com senior writer Rex Hoggard. Rex, some big news, surprisingly, I thought, today on the lawsuit that caddies filed against the Tour months ago. What's the latest in this?
Well, it's been almost an exact year. Last week was an exact year. It was back in February, and a judge in San Francisco in U.S. District Court dismissed that lawsuit today. It had obviously been ongoing for quite a while. There was a lot of discussion about change of venues, and specifically the judge dismissed what the caddies were claiming were a breach of contract as well as antitrust violations. And across the board, he dismissed it. He did say that even though as a rule of law, there was nothing there. He did say that there was something to be said for that the caddies felt like they had not been treated very well. I had an opportunity to speak with Ty Votal, who is the PGA Tour spokesman. He sent the following statement. We are aware of the ruling made in our favor regarding the lawsuit filed last year by caddies and are pleased by the court's decision. We look forward to putting this matter behind us and moving forward in a positive direction with the caddies.
What's the next step for the caddies?
Well, that is the interesting part. I had an opportunity to talk with the caddy lawyer, Gene Egdorf, who lives in Houston. He was surprised and very disappointed at the ruling, but felt like there were a number of things that basically the judge got wrong, and he was going to talk with the caddies. It includes a group of 168 caddies in the next few weeks. He felt like there was a good chance that they could get this turned around on appeal. I have spoken with a couple of caddies today who were involved with the lawsuit. It doesn't look like, at least the caddies I spoke to, want to try to pull this out on appeal. A lot of things have happened over the last year. Basically, they have not been able to work with the PGA Tour at all on anything, even not related to this lawsuit. And there were some other issues that they felt like they made a good point by bringing this to the public attention, that hopefully they can work with the Tour without pulling this into the appeals process. They have a meeting tonight scheduled, the caddies at Pebble Beach. I'll probably know more tomorrow.
Just quickly, were you surprised by this?
Absolutely. I was surprised. There was a number of things in the lawsuit that when it came down to a matter of law, it felt like a jury should have decided. I think Egdorf, the lawyer, felt the same way.
All right, you can read more about this on GolfChannel.com. Well, next on Golf Central, he's a two-time champion at Pebble Beach. But there's more than low scores on his mind. How U.S. Captain Davis Love III is preparing for the Ryder Cup coming up. Plus, the great one and the father of his grandson later in the show. Steve Rakowski visits with Dustin Johnson and Wayne Gretzky.